Good afternoon, everyone. We are back live for match number 2 today. N19 versus Canadians. So N19 or N19, they are, oops, it is not 8-0. Sorry, we'll reset the scoreboard here. N19 is just finishing up their warm-ups. They'll be doing their LSDs soon. So what do we have? We got a match today of two veteran teams, very strong. They're always near the top of the leaderboard in the top of the standings in the A division, or Division A, however we want to say it. Canadians played their first match of the season this morning against Team Vareka, and from what I see on the scoreboard, it was 7-3 after 7 ends. I don't know if they played the 8th end, but I'm going to assume Canadians did not score 5 to win that one or 4 to tie. So they will be coming up against a N19 team that has seen a couple of changes over their makeup from last year, but they're still led by their very strong skip, Stefan van Dijk. I believe this is their LSD, their first one, so they'll be coming up the wall side. Trying a new camera angle we have for this afternoon. Sweepers are on it. I want to try to make sure this gets into the house. Want it to be right on the button. Ooh, going to come up just short. I'm going to estimate that to be around a meter. They never tell me anything, so I just have to guess. $80, I think maybe I saw somebody, Wayne, say. He's popping in for a moment, so maybe I'll ask him what it was. So now they're going to be coming up from the ice side for this one. Yeah, it was 80 centimeters for that first one. Good throw, puts it a nice short distance. Let's see if they can do better here. Jan is going to be coming up the ice side. Now that wasn't a good angle. Getting on the sweep. They want to make sure this gets here. Nice skip is coming out. They're going to try to drag this one in as close as they can. Gets that right in there up against the button. That's an excellent shot. Probably going to be about 28-30 centimeters. Good couple of LSDs there. All right, so now Canadians are going to take their turn out on the ice. So Canadians are semi-misnamed. They have 2 Canadians on the team, but also a Belgian and a Dutchman this year. I think they used to have 3 Canadians on the team, but I think one of them is not able to play this year, or not able to play competitions this year, so they're about to start their warm-ups. Just waiting for N19 to clear the ice. They're going to start the timer. They get 7 minutes, 9 minutes, or for this it's 9 minutes. So once that first slider goes, here he's gone, he's started the clock. So I'm not going to talk your ear off for this whole time, so I'm going to just let the sound of the ice come through. If it is coming through, we're going to try to maybe bump up that volume just a little bit there. It seems to be peaking a little bit, so I'm going to try to maybe make some adjustments, but I'm going to take a little short break while they're doing their warm-ups. So I'll put the split screen on, and we'll talk to you guys in a few moments. All right, we are getting down to the last couple minutes of the warm-ups, maybe last minute. So Canadians will be doing their LSDs here shortly. Change a little bit on the audio to make sure I'm not hitting up against any kind of limiter. It seems to be a little bit better. It's supposed to have like a maximum limiter that keeps me from going too loud, but apparently not. So we're going to leave this as it is. Not going to mess around with it too much more, but just wanted to give that a shout. Try not to get too loud in everybody's head and everybody's ears. All right. Last couple of stones. Last stone. All right. Looks like Wayne and Carrie are going to be throwing the LSDs for the Canadians today. Find out which side is which. So I mentioned earlier there are two Canadians on Canadians. We have John, the skip, is Canadian, and Wayne, who is coming up. He has the white shoes. He is, Wayne has lived here in Belgium for quite some time. I believe he moved over here when he was 17 or 18. So he's been here quite a long time. He was the one who actually introduced me. He was my first trainer here when I started curling a few years back. He gave the initiation, and I had such a pleasant time learning how to play and chatting with him that I told him, hey, I'm coming back the following Monday. And 5 years later, coming up on 6, I am still curling. Oh, wait, no, I'm coming up on 5 years. Sorry. 5 years in January. Okay, so Gary's going to be first. He's going to be coming up the wall side. So let's see if we get a good LSD here from him. I will have to remember to start getting rid of a stone. He wants his own stone. Wants to make sure he throws one he's going to be throwing during the match, so he's used to it. So they're swapping those out. All right, sweepers are on this one. They want to get this down there. In the morning matches, the ice was very fast. Had stones that looked like they were super slow, just not carry into the house, or carry all the way through the house. But unfortunately, this one was just a little bit slow. Does not make the house, so that is 185.4 centimeters for that measurement, which means that N19 will have choice of hammer, and I am going to assume they are going to take it. All right, so Wayne dropping off the parka, putting his red game jacket on. Another left-hander. He is going to be coming up the open side, the ice side. Now, the LSDs help on choice, but you're really, and it doesn't always indicate whether you're going to play well or not, but you do want to try to get off on the good foot, try to find your speed and distance early, and having something happen during the LSDs is good. This one looks like it's going to be right there. Ooh, geez, it just carried a little bit past T-line. I thought that was going to go further. Went a little bit deeper in the house. That's probably going to be about 65? Maybe 70? We have the traditional pre-match handshakes going on between the teams, wishing each other good luck. A little good sportsmanship there. N19 playing with the Redstones is going to have the hammer. And we are set up for a good match to come. Going to be interesting to see how much the ice has changed from this morning. Like, obviously they redo the ice between each match, which means you can have different conditions. This morning was a bit fast, a little bit straighter. This one they're playing a little bit more with a little bit more curl than this morning. Oh shoot, and I forgot to switch cameras. There we go. Feels a little bit slower. Their shots coming up lower. Doesn't quite curl. It didn't quite curl as much as they wanted it to. Always the early stones in the match are a bit... you hope you found your line. You hope you found your speed, your weight, but it doesn't always work out that way in the warm-ups. This one is also going to come up short and fall, and it's going to hit the other guard. Tap that one. John out there sweeping it, trying to run it into the house, and it does. It gets out there, so a little bit of a mistake from Canadians to start. Just turned a little bit too much. Use that yellow one biting over on the side of the house. This one is not going to have the curl that they want on it. It is going to get into the house. Probably pretty good weight. Unfortunately, they wanted that one tucked in behind the red. This is going to leave an open hit and roll for N19. Been on this one early. Oops, I had the wrong screen. Sorry about that. This one's going to be a bit heavy. It's going to go through the house, unfortunately. Missed the Oh, sorry, I forgot. They were going for the takeout. Missed the takeout. They wanted it to be heavy. Just a little guard put up there in front of the yellow. Try to get some protection on it. We can show you what they're looking at. Just going to try to peel off this guard. It's going to be a little bit, not enough contact. Does tick off that guard and end up in the house. It's sitting second shot. I don't know if it's really useful for anything other than if they clear out the, get the yellow out of the way. Canadians is going to throw a another guard out there. Seems like it's going to be a little bit wide. Catches the top one. Shooter stays. But that top yellow stays inside and is just inside that red one. So now yellow sits 2. Canadians with another opportunity to put up a guard. And John's hollering at him early. Want this one to sweep. They really want this one to get down there. Got to get over the line. They'd love it to stay on that tram track. As long as it makes sure it gets over the hog line, which it does. Removes the forcible takeout. Potentially. Yeah, Stefan looks like he is just going to try to clear this one out of the way. Might be a little bit wide. Just sneaks by. All right, that gives Canadians hope. They can use this. Yeah, John indicating that he wants to take the do a hit and roll off this red, get it out of the house, leave another yellow stone there. They'd be sitting 4. It's going to take it out. Is it going to have enough to roll over? No, not quite enough. A little bit too solid on the nose. Maybe a little bit more weight. Yeah. And this will give N19 an opportunity to do their own hit and roll. Gotta fall to get on that inside. Just on the outer edge of the nose. It rolls a little bit outside. Canadians are just going to come back, take it out, hopefully get theirs to roll underneath. Nope. Outside edge of the nose, rolls it out. It stays in the house, though. They're sitting 4. Stefan's going to try to draw this in underneath. Try to get it inside of that yellow one. That whole ice side of the sheet is open, so they will be able to just curl it around that top guard, and I think they'll be right where they want to be. They will want this one inside the 4-foot, closer than the yellow, but they don't want it to go too deep because it will give an opportunity for Canadians to draw in on it as well. So this one must stay on top of the tee, above the tee line. Slight adjustment to the broom position from Stefan. Oh, this has got to get around there. Try to sweep this one. Make sure it gets around that guard. All right, gets around the guard. Oh, is it going to be too much now? Unfortunate with the sweeping. I think weight was a little bit heavy. Unfortunately, took it, did not take it far enough. Sorry about all the microphone noise. Just a small check. This one will clear the guard, but I don't think it will fall enough and is going to end up a little bit short of the house, which not a big problem for them because it is going to close off that draw. It is going to make a difficult shot for Stefan. He's indicating I might have to play off a hit and roll off that yellow on the outside. It has to get into the red. I wonder if maybe they're playing a little too much ice. It hasn't really been falling, and with the speed, it's probably going to throw this. Sweeping it hard. Unfortunately, did not fall. But I believe it is second stone. So just one for Canadians. Steal a one. That could have been, had potential to be a really bad end for N19. But in the end, just one against. So after the first end, Canadians are up 1-0. You start out here with just a classic center guard. Wayne coming up the wall side. Well placed, slightly off center, but still pretty good position. All right, Stefan being aggressive here. He's definitely going to have, he's having them come right in behind, straight into the house, try to get behind that guard. Oh. A little bit hard. through the ice, through the house. John's setting up another, going for another center guard, coming from the ice side this time. Sweepers are on it already. They either feel it's light or it's inside, or a combination of both. It's just a little tap to the guard, stacks him up over there. A little bit of over curl. Whoops. Sorry, wrong camera. That one got nicely on the button. Still available for a draw around onto it. Gary and Wayne following this one. John calling him on the sweep. That one's going to be nice as they're going to tuck right up against it, tap it back just a little bit. Leaves it a little bit open though. And with that separation now from the red stone, definitely able to go after it again. Stefan indicating it's outside. Hopefully can sweep that to get it to fall. Starting to move. Is that going to have enough weight to actually hit the yellow out of the way? Not quite enough. Shooter is a little bit tucked under behind those guards, but I think John is just going to call for a higher guard here. Protect that yellow. Maybe a touch deeper than they would have liked, but doesn't do N19 any favors. Yeah. Stefan asking for the hit and roll. Oh, quite wide. Unfortunate that. That's going to give Canadians another opportunity to put up a guard. Duly watching over that stone. Just following it in casually. Well placed. Nice guard. Good distance. Good weight. All right, Stefan looking at how he can try to get some things open in the middle here. Oh, he's on the broom early. He's got him sweeping it early. Oh. Clears it out a little. They lose that red at the back of the house, but I don't think that one, back of the 4 foot, I don't think that really made any difference. I think John is just going to have, just going to guard up that middle there. Try to prevent any kind of tap backs or anything of that sorts. Maybe even half cover that, that top yellow on the wall side there, just to prevent any run backs. Wants to get this down there. He's got him sweeping it. And that is going to be an excellent stone there. Really nice guard. Closes up that thing. Although, can they split it open? Can Stefan split it open with takeout? That's what he's looking to do. It'd be a bit wide, but it is going to hit on that yellow, which is going to hit on the red, and nope, does not hit on the red. It was a bit of a danger there. A few options the Canadians have to look at here. I mean, I don't think N19 is going to be worried about having to run a yellow back onto their red to get it back. They're not going to be trying to do a takeout, so they got to look and see what is the best one to cover. I think they might be trying to cover up that inside red one there. I mean, at some point you just have to pick one and say, that's it, that's what we're going with. Looks to be a pretty good stone. It's going to freeze, just slightly tap that red one. Yeah, and now Stefan has to think, what can he do? He's got options to try to promote it. Not sure that yellow one is in line with that red one enough to get it back. Maybe it pushes, it splits it too far. Might tap the top of the red in the house on the 4-foot and move it back. It doesn't have to go back very far. Lots of discussion here, just not sure what they're going to be able to do. All right, looks like they're opting to have that yellow hit the red, and hopefully that will tap their red in the 4-foot back. Thinking about what they're going to do. Very still on the ice. Oh, wow. That was a happy accident. Missed that outside. Catches it just right. Takes out the yellow. You could see Jan from N19 put his hand up in apologies for what happened. I mean, obviously not the intentional shot, but wow, what a difference that made. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, is what they say. So now all those stones up in front of the house actually hurts Canadians. It's what do they don't have any room to maneuver themselves, so they're gonna have to try to open it up with this stone and then do something with their last. But oh wait, no, this is their last. They're gonna try to promote this one, run it back, run that yellow one straight back onto the red. Unfortunately, does not hit in the right spot. N19 has a choice. I think they looks like they are just going to try to draw this one around. Don't want to risk trying to take that yellow one out and having it miss and take their red out. So they're going to try to draw this one in behind it. Just has to get into about halfway into the 8-foot circle. This is the hammer stone. I think that's maybe the smarter play. You really don't want to risk being a little bit outside on the takeout, having that yellow one go in, jam on the red, and have the red leave the house and giving them one. So again, if you go for that yellow, if you go for that takeout, you got to make sure that that yellow gets out of the house. Because even if the shooter sticks, it's going to be up at the top of the 12-foot. So you want to make sure this one gets out. You can see he's just setting up room Ray on the outside. Just need to make sure this one is outside. Looks like it's going to be well clear of the guard. I'm going to sweep this, try to make sure it gets in. Needs to just stay touching the white. Trying to sweep it through, but it sticks around enough. 2 for a nicotine. Big stone there to turn things around. Quite a lucky break, but you know, them's the breaks. Those things happen. Sometimes you get them to go your way and sometimes not. So oops. I did something wrong. I missed a camera shot. Just gonna try to get this as deep as possible. It's still quite high, just on the center line. So tick rule is in effect. Whoops, I thought I had that on the split. My mistake. Alright, Canadian's going with the corner guard here. It's a touch deep, it's going to get into the house. John's going to have him sweep to get it in a little bit deeper. Stefan looking either for another center guard or to get something behind the center guard that they have in the house. Oh, they're sweeping it. Want to make sure this gets down there. It's a little bit wide. I think that's going to fall enough, but it's going to end up where he liked it, like right on that center line. There you go. Slightly overlap those center guards, give it a little bit wide, but they're both on the tick line, so they can't move them from there. No, this one does not have a line. That's gonna hit against that center guard. Still within the 5 stones, so it's going to have to be replaced. Or N19 has a choice of letting it stand or moving their stone back to where they want, and then the shooter comes out. Shooter goes out of play. Center guard goes back into position. And that was the 4th. Yeah, that was the 4th stone of the end. So this is a 5th. After this stone, then you can start taking things out, moving things off that center line. Stefan's going to use this mistake to their advantage. Going to try to come around, get behind those 2 guards, be in the house. Pointing his arm wide. Thinks that's off the broom. It'll easily get around those guards, but will it get behind them? May even be a slight bit heavy. Yep, just carries behind the T line. John is opting to leave it. He's going to try to do his own draw in there. Yep, John is hollering again. Needs this one to get around that guard. It does not, unfortunately. But now, as that was the 6th stone at the end, no harm, no foul, so Shooter stays, guard stays where it's at. This does not do anything to help Canadians there. Yeah, you can see Stefan pointing at, he wants to try to guard the house. So something on the 12-foot inside that blue circle. But if it carries too much, if it gets behind the, gets behind those guards, that would also be okay. Alright, Sweeper's getting it down there, laying off. They don't want it to get too deep. Unfortunately, it has. That is behind the guards, but behind the T-line. So now it gives Canadians some backing of what to do here. Looks like they're going to try to tap this red one out of the way and then roll on front of the other red one. Oh, just a little bit too much roll. Gets outside of the red. Does get rid of one of them though. But they really wanted that one to stay in front of that red, get some blacking. All right. Got a couple options here. They're going to try to hit and roll. Get it underneath those guards, but if it's a little bit outside, it has the opportunity. It could run back and take the double out both of those yellows. All right. Bart just waiting for the Sweeper to get ready. Oh, it's bit inside. It's going to miss that top one. But it is going to catch the one in the back. Sits there. Not terrible, but it does leave a possible double here. John getting on them, getting on the sweepers. Gotta make sure this one gets there, holds the line. Oh, he gets both, but it just doesn't have enough weight. Well, it did knock that red out, so the shooter is sitting, yellow is in there. But as it's well behind the T-line, N19 can draw around, use it possibly as backing. They're just going to try to get around behind these guards. If it's a little heavy, it'll use that yellow one as backing, hold it in the house. They want to be above the T-line though. And a bit heavy, bit outside. Don't know if that's gonna fall enough. Yep. Canadians able to sweep that one deeper. Now they have the pocket to go in after. You know, Canadians have the hammer, so I think they're just going to try to angle for putting something in there where they're better than that red. Even if it's behind the T line, because they'll have the last chance to come after it. Yep, John looking for top of the 4 foot. Sweeping this one hard. I want to make sure it gets down there. Hopefully they haven't overswept it. Ooh, it's a little bit wide. And it's going to just tick. Oh. Falls just a little bit too much in there. It's still going to have a really open chance to get to the center of the house. A little heavy here, and they could tap that yellow one back outside the red, and that would allow them to lie 3, but that would also mean that they're well behind the T line. So I don't think that's a concern so much for N19. I think they just want to make sure that they're sitting shot. They're not sweeping it, so is it outside? Is that going to have enough chance to curl? Don't know. Nope, that's going to sit outside. It's going to get onto the red in the back, but that does not help them. I think Canadians are going to come up that backside. They're going to try to get one underneath the guards in front of the T line. They've got the backing of their own there. Just want to make sure that they don't tap it too far back, but ideally they want to stay above the T line here. But I'm not so sure they might be giving it too much ice. It doesn't fall that much. So if they want to get this one behind the guards, they might need a little bit less ice. In my not so expert opinion. All right, Gary's sitting low, just watching it. Looking at the sweep. It's going to easily get by the guards. Want to get this one right there in the 4 foot. Very nicely played. Stefan has no other choice except to try to draw into the button there. Can't really afford to try to take that one out as they're not sitting second or third, or they're not sitting second. So taking out that one doesn't do them any good. So now they're forced to draw. Try to put this one underneath the guards inside of that yellow, inside the 4-foot. And hopefully try to put some pressure back on John to make a good shot. Reapers are ready. I think it's gonna clear the guard easily. It's actually a little bit outside. See, I think they're just giving a little bit too much ice. You just want that to stop. Stay in the house, in the red. All right, it's a little bit past. It's past the T line, so I think what you're gonna see here is, oop, John going for the takeout. That's true. If he can get onto the nose of that red one, he can take out both those reds and then score 3. You know, quite an important shot here for John. It looks a bit outside. It's got to get onto that red, at least to move it. Try to get some. All right, so I was wrong about the takeout. Just to be sure we don't have a good one, and since the fact that they're leaving both those yellows there, they think they're all very close, so a very tight match there, tight end. Really came down to it, and you're measuring 3 different stones to figure it out. Love to see it. Plus, love to see the measuring device in use. Club paid a lot of money for it. It's always nice to see it get used. just carry that one into the house. Not sure if John is going to play it out and try to roll out to the side, or if he's just going to, if they're just going to roll out past it, set something in the house. You know, they're sweeping to try to get it on. I don't think it's going to quite get there. All right. Just sits out outer edge of the 8-foot. All right, Stefan's not going to muck around with this. He's just going to get it out of there. Not let Canadians build anything up that they could use to promote or go in after the button later. All right, now John's going to get rid of this one. Look, he indicated a tap and then roll over onto the inside of that red one. Oh, John yelling almost straight away for the brute sweepers to get on there. Yep. Well inside. Going to miss the takeout and go through the house. Stefan looking for a freeze. Yeah, looks like he's looking for a freeze. It does not appear to be falling. Very late there. Ooh, a little bit deep, giving John the opportunity to call for a double. Ooh, gets one, but rolls over the top of the other, and then out the front of the house. Oops, sorry. Wrong button, wrong camera. Nicely played with the guard. Right there in front. It's like John is calling for a double here, trying to get that off the inside of the red. Fortunately, just takes it off the outside edge. Gets rid of the red, but the shooter goes out of play as well. Yeah, he's looking at these options. He can split the house. He can put up yet another guard to double up those guards over there. Can go in betweens, get something in the house, act as yet a secondary guard. It looks like that's what the call they're going for. So if this gets into the house, they definitely want it to be like, say, front top of the 8-foot at best. Ideally, oh, it's a little heavy. It's gonna tap that other guard deeper and freezes it up against their own stone. So happy little accident there. John looking to see if he can't get a run back onto those reds. If it's got enough weight behind it, he could probably move all three of those stones. Shouting for the sweepers straight away. Well, splits him up, but only gets one to go away. Stefan immediately calling for a guard on the over the red there. Definitely a bit on the outside. They're gonna hope that falls. It starts to fall very late now, but it does starting to move a little bit deeper. It's setting up a double there. Yep. John immediately going after that, putting his broom out there. There we go, get a better view here. Oh. Nose hit, slight center line side of the nose, and that should spill both of those out. Likes the line. Looks like it's fallen well. And he does it. Gets rid of both of them. Fortunately, I did not have a great camera view of all of that, but I'm going to see might be a shot of the match worthy if I can find a good camera angle of it. N19 still has that right in there at shot. It's not fully protected though. Could get to it from a hack weight on the outside, possibly even a normal takeout from the outside. I think in an ideal world here, honestly not sure. Yeah, I think he'd like this one to hit wall side of nose and just drift behind that that yellow guard up there. Get this into fall a little bit. Nope. Doesn't get the fall, but does get rid of the yellow. It does stay in the house. Shooter does stay in the house. And since it's high enough, if they take it, try to take that one out and the nose hit it, doesn't do any good for Canadians. It leaves them outside the house. So it looks like they're probably going to try to draw in behind it. Is that going to fall enough? Is that going to have enough weight? Sweeping to get it down deep as it can into the house. All right, gets deeper. It is shot, but it's exposed. But it's close enough to that red that Canadians have to take that, have to look at that risk. But not much they can do. They do not have hammer, so they gotta get rid of this one. You do not want to leave them the opportunity to draw for two. I think in an ideal world, the shooter will stick. Well, shooter does not stick, but it does catch that yellow enough to get it out of the house, and so now Canadians have a draw to a generally open house for one. Anytime you can force your opponent to draw for, or to just try to take one, it's a pretty good end. this has got to get to the white. It's got to get to the 8-foot. Gary's getting out there, doing a little bit of extra sweep, and there it goes. Right into the 8-foot to take the 1. So, at the end of 4, N19 with 3, Canadians with 2. Looks like we're going to take the quick intermission. I am also going to take a quick break myself, so we're going to put you on the intermission screen with a little bit of music, and I will be back in a couple of minutes. Or maybe I just put you guys on the split screen. Nah, we'll give you some music. Leave John standing out there alone. Oh no, we'll give you the split screen. I'll be right back. My apologies, chat. The my intermission took longer than the match's intermission. I'm glad I left it on the split screen as opposed to the wall side. Excuse me. Weight looks fairly good. I want this one to curl. Get out in front. Oh, that looks nice. Nicely done. Got him sweeping it hard. Is that going to get around that top guard? No. Oh, in worst case scenario, it puts the guard right out. And the shooter falls as a guard in front of that red. They're not even going to be able to use it now. I think that just fell way. Guard over those. Try to prevent them from using that red in any way to tap the yellow back. Oh, and just a huge amount of curl right at the end there. Right as soon as it got ready to stop. Dropped another quarter and a half a stone. Still covers it up quite nicely, but I'm going to try something interesting here. If they can just catch the edge of that yellow, it could go into the red and then down onto the button. So this is going to have to cut that top guard very close. That's going to be a bit wide. Not sure that one ever had the line. And that is just going to go through the back. Yep. Sifan looking for that one to just to be high guard, protect that outside. Trying to cut off the draw lane to the button. Very nicely done. Well placed stone. Trying to get an idea of what... Squeeze it in between those reds and just tap their yellow again? I'm honestly not sure. Let's find out together, chat. Could also be trying to promote that red onto the yellow to move it forward. I don't quite have the weight for that. Yeah, that's just... Yeah, that just didn't quite do what they needed it to do. It's fun looking at any ways that the yellows can come through. They don't want to accidentally push that yellow inside of their red. Now they're sitting two. I think they're going to try to leave this one a bit short. Just kind of protect that draw into the red. I don't think that yellow can get onto the button anymore, but I think they could try to get onto the red to take one out or give up one less. So I think they're just going to try to leave it short, potentially even just get it inside the yellow one to sit three. Want to make sure they don't sweep this too deep. You don't want to give Canadians a chance to hit and roll into the middle. So it just gets past to miss on. But that's still a tough shot. That's going to be a super, super tough shot. And you've got to hit it just right with the right weight so that it gets over. It's got to nudge that that red on the button out of the way. It's got to get around that red up the top. Does it? No. All right. Trying to count the number of stones. If this is last one or not. Don't laugh. Of course, I've lost track of stones. I do know it's it's somewhere in there. And N19 does have hammer. It's going to be a touch heavy. I think they're going to try to sweep that onto... Three for red. All right, and through 5 ends, that gives N19 a lead 6-2. Really taking advantage after that kind of a fluke shot in the third to steal that one. So big end there for N19. I'm going to see how Canadians respond. Going to fall just off the center line and carry into the 8-foot. On countering with the corner guard to the open side, to the ice side. Well positioned just outside the tram tracks in the house. All right. N19's going to counter. They're going to try to draw behind that that corner guard. Use it to their advantage. I'm going to get to the tee line into the 4-foot. Just a little bit exposed, but I think John's going to try to use that to his advantage. Freeze up against it, maybe use it later. Sure you all can hear John shouting at the sweepers. Unfortunately, that does not fall enough. It actually leaves a nice guard for N19. And I cannot tell you how confusing it has been with Stefan from N19 wearing a yellow jacket but playing red stones, and John and Wayne wearing red jackets throwing the yellow stones. I have to think twice about when I'm calling stones here. Calling for that sweep straight away. Want to make sure it catches that yellow. And it just goes through and then actually taps the red, so it's going to expose that red there. I'm looking for a potential double here. Just misses the top one, but then allows them to slide under that red one. Use that as a guard, so that's not a bad position there. I think that may have been the intent for all along. Never forget, I am wrong often on this channel. Skip throwing his hand out wide, like it may be a little bit wide, but that looks like it's going to fall enough. Ooh, just pokes itself around outside from behind that guard. Yeah. Just fell a little bit too much. Don't think the sweeping was going to save it, so that's why they shouted. Maybe if it got to the other side of the nose, it might have fallen down, but did not quite get to where they want. But it does get the shooter to roll out of the way. It's not sitting there as a guard for anything. Although maybe they did want that to sit in front of that red. Would provide an extra line of defense for the yellow sitting in the forefoot. Taps that one nicely. Puts that red one inside. It is a bit open, but They've got a nose hit it so it doesn't keep that yellow one out. Hey Bert, thanks for watching. Appreciate your support. I know the N19 is feeling it. Get a better view of what John is setting up set for. Want this one to get past that red one up top. Is it gonna have enough? No, and it's gonna fall a little bit light. Okay, but it does get outside of that other yellow, so Canadians still sitting second shot. Stefan looking at what are his options. I think he's going to try to put a guard right there. Yep, as he puts his broom down. Ooh, unfortunately, just over curls. It does make it a little bit harder for Canadians to get at that red one in the middle there, but there is still a gap. Unfortunately for them, I think it would just push that red onto their yellow and then would leave them exposed as well. So some different options to look at. Yeah, I think the idea is they're going to try to draw in that. They're not going to try to take out that red, but they're just going to try to freeze up against it. Give them some protection. Needs to curl in a little bit and freeze right up against it a little bit hard. Sitting right on the button. But it is a little exposed. They could do something similar. Just want to tap that yellow one back. Go to the split screen. We can see from both sides what kind of angles we're working with here. Lots of discussion going on here. at our level, we don't have a thinking clock, so teams will often take their time. They'll play a little bit more cautious. They're looking at every possible angle of what they could go for here. You get a full view of what Stefan is looking at here. From his end of the ice, this is pretty much what he sees. Well, a little bit lower. So we actually have a slightly better view than he does. Sorry, we're higher than what he sees. Very nice shot. Squeezes that one in there. Rolls off to the side. Is still sitting second shot. Let's see what the time was on that. Put that down as a marker for the potential shot of the match. Nicely done technically. Canadians still have an opportunity to get in there. They're going to try to draw it and freeze it up against that red one there in the house, I believe. Make it difficult for N19 to get it away, and then hopefully try to squeeze another one in there for 2. Oh, it's gonna fall a little too much. Unfortunate there. Just a bit inside and light, so it falls too much. Yep, Stefan's just gonna block up this block up that gap there. Trying to look at all of the different ways that Canadians could come in and score. So I think they're just going to try to block up that... I think they want to have it half covering the red at the top and half covering the middle. So it'll close up that gap between that everybody's been going after, and then also kind of make it more difficult to promote, use the red to promote the yellow in and try to get take a stone away from N19. Just want to sweep this, make sure it holds. I don't want it to over curl. Let them move aside, and yeah, that's blocked up that channel. That's going to make it difficult to go after. N19 is for sure sitting 2. It's hard to tell with that red at the top of the 8-foot if that is in further or not. Canadians don't have many options here. They're looking at what they're looking at here is you've got these stacked up yellows, and they can try to, you know, hit one of them, and hopefully it taps the yellow in further. It's very difficult because if they hit that top yellow, it's frozen up against the back yellow, so it would have to have enough weight to bounce off the yellow, bounce off the red, tap that other yellow, and move that yellow forward. And once you start throwing in multiple taps like that, that is not an easy outcome. If they can hit that rightmost yellow one just on the side, then they can tap that one forward, but then they got to make sure that they don't hit it too hard, because you don't want that second yellow one to go flying through the house. They need this to stay in the game. Going into the 7th end down by 6, that's a tough ask. You can see where Gary is setting up his broom. Needs to be on the outside of either of those two yellows. Oh, they're getting on the brooms. They're getting on the brooms. It's got some weight behind it. And, oof. An excellent shot. Just comes up a little bit short. But it does mean that N19 only takes 1 there. Oh, a steal of 1 puts the Canadians up 7-2, or sorry, puts the N19 up 7-2 over Canadians going into the 7th end. Unfortunately, looks like Wayne needs to is not able to finish the match. I think he needs to be somewhere, so he is stepping off. So we're going to finish with 3 against 3. Canadians are going to be down to 3 men. No, sorry, it's not 3 against 3. 3 against 4. All right, Steph's starting us off here in the 7th. Just a simple draw, guard to the middle. Trying to get this down just onto the front edge of the house. Ooh, it just looks like it might be biting. They're checking. Whether it's in or not, John is opting to just go for the corner guard. Oops, sorry, I'm not on the split screen. So there's the stone. This takes it into the house, right in front of the T line over on the side. Stefan looking for takeout, probably hit and roll, get over to the middle. Oop, signaling that it might be inside. Super's gonna have to get on it to hold it if that's true. He hasn't called him off yet, so they might be able to get it. Oh! If that touched, it would have just been the slightest nick. Then wants to get this one behind the behind that red one. Build something up. This just to curl a little bit more. Take a look here, just a little bit. See Wayne? Sorry, just saying goodbye to Wayne. Didn't mean to shout. Oops, wrong camera. Nicely done. Gets rid of the yellow. Sits up there. It's going to kind of protect the guard. Protect the center of the house. I think John's going to try to have it come around behind those guards. And again, I'm not on the split screen, so you guys don't see the slide out. My mistake. Weight seems to be okay. Good weight. It just doesn't fall from that side enough, so it's going to be a little bit exposed. Not sure they can get onto the inside of it. I just realized my microphones are not set up. My microphone is not set up on that bar house scene, so I need to add those so I can go back to it. So what I was saying is they could split that house. I think they're gonna try to tap the red one back. This one looks pretty decent. Make sure it doesn't go too much. Ooh, just a little bit too much. They had several options there with splitting those reds open, tapping one of them back, trying to get it onto that yellow. It's a little bit firm on that one. I think John's going to try to freeze on this yellow. It's gonna squeeze just... Oh, thought that was just gonna get around. Just slightly taps it, which is not terrible. Does provide a guard, but at the same time, it does allow them to double it a little bit easier. They just need to run that top yellow one straight back. We mustn't forget about that yellow one sitting over on the wall side of the house. That is still second shot. It just might fall a little too much. Yep. Just a little bit too far outside. So John's gonna ask for the same thing on this one. Maybe tuck it a little bit underneath that red one to make it even more difficult to get at. Oh, nice setup there. A little bit deeper. That's gonna make that and a little bit more outside. It's gonna make that double just a little bit easier to get after. Or make it a little bit easier to hit that double. But it's by no means the ice been cooperating today. One looks to be a bit outside as well. Again, the guards doing their jobs, keeping that yellow one safe. I think now John's going to try to get this one just a little bit deeper, freeze it up against it. Even a tap and roll would be a good idea. Get that yellow one more underneath those guards. Unfortunately, not their own guards. All right. Same position as the last one. They've got options of what they can do here. It's, you know, Stefan was, you saw him point his broom out over at the, that far wall side, yellow there. They can always use that as to roll it in, you know, hit and roll. So they're going to look at that. They could potentially roll in off of this one on top. I think if the way he's lining up the broom and the way they're looking at it, if they can get this one on the nose, then it will be inside of that left one, and you can double out both of these. So oh, excellent double. Holds the shooter slightly underneath that guard, and it is shot stone. Excellent stone there from Stefan. I'm gonna write that one down. So John is just looking to get this one to come in, get it on the in the forefoot, try to get it behind those guards. Get into a scoring position in front of the tee line. Swept it a little bit early. Now they're coming back on it. Is that going to have the weight to get in there? Gary coming out to help, but nope. No avail. That's a little bit short. And I think way more ice than they needed. Stefan looking at all of his options. I think he likes the tap back of his own more. A little nose hit tap will leave a guard, push that red one back further into scoring position, give him sitting 2. I think he feels like getting that yellow one out of the way is just not worth the effort. And will potentially leave their own stone over there if they hit it nose. That John could use it to roll into the middle. Make sure they hold this a little straight. They don't want it to run onto the inside and have it tap out wide. Ooh, it's just going to fall a bit at the end. It does tap it in closer than the yellow, so I don't believe it's going to be helpful to Canadians here. Canadians, so... Gotta get around that guard. It can't be too heavy. This looks a bit heavy. Stefan gonna be able to sweep this through? No. And that is going to... Oh! They're gonna look at those. Might have to get the measuring stick again. Nope. This one seemed to tap it. May have been good for yellow. We're gonna give that one to yellow until maybe we'll see if they post a score. Yeah, they're... Yep, yellow is lining up, so it's going to be one yellow. So going into the last stand, Canadians down by 4. N19 is going to have the hammer. So this is going to be a very, very difficult end for Canadians. They're going to have to play this perfectly. Hope for a little bit of maybe mistakes from N19. Not a good sign when the skip runs all the way out, goes all the way out past the hog line to help sweep. Center guard, but very high center guard. All right. And N19 not wanting to give them Canadians anything to do. They are just going to throw away their stone. They do not want to let Canadians try to use it to build up anything around it, so better just to dump it out of play. Force Canadians to do something. N19 does not care about winning this end. They just want to make sure they don't give up a big one, so I think we're going to see a lot of takeouts here. Anything that's exposed that can be taken out will be. This was going to be just outside the center of the house, so I think Stefan is just going to say... Oh, okay. He's going to try to have him build it up, put something in the house. Why not? He's saying to Canadians, they're not just going to let you build up what you want. You're going to have to pay attention to these stones. This appears to be a little on the heavy side, though. Not necessarily a problem for that. John having a little laugh, trying to see if he sweeps behind it and get it to stop in the house. Physics, unfortunately, does not work that way. Yeah, Stefan's just going to look to open this up. He's going to force force John to either have his team put stones in the house openly, or they're going to have to waste stones and guarding. And since they need 4 to tie and 5 to win, it's not an optimal solution for them. So, optimal situation, excuse me. Oh, they may even get the long run back. Well, didn't get both of them out. And unfortunately, that the run back ended up undercover, but it is behind the T line. It might have a shot on it. Well, excellent stone there. Front of the T line in the 4-foot. Behind a little bit of a guard up front there. Stefan looking to clear the house, clear the guard at the top of just past the hog line. If it misses to the wall side, then it still has that yellow one they could potentially run back onto. It is going to miss that top guard. Unfortunately, fall to the inside. Does get rid of that yellow there. Really doing his best to try to keep that yellow one out there. I don't think really blowing on it's going to do much. Sure, you can all hear John yelling, "Sweep for line, sweep for line." He is one of the loudest skips in the league. Very clear as to what he wants. And no hesitation to use his voice. Just gonna try to get around this top guard. Looks like it's a little bit inside. Yeah, it's a lot inside. The risk is that runs that yellow back into the house. I want to keep that shooter wide. Yellow runs through. Yep. We're getting to the point, though, where John's going to have to start putting stones in the house. They need 4 to draw, 5 to win. I think they'd be very happy with a draw at this point. It's gotta get around the guard. I don't think it's going to. Just not enough weight there. Yep, Stefan just gonna have Bart take out this exposed yellow. One less point for Canadians to possibly score. This is going to just... Oh, actually even puts them a shot stone, but does leave it open. Does give a chance for Canadians to use it, try to roll underneath. They're not particularly thrilled about their options. And of course I pressed the wrong camera. I think that's going to get onto the red one. I think it's just going to be outside though, so it's not going to... Shooter will not stick. Ooh, it does stay in the house. Does stay biting out on the edge there. Does give Canadians 2 at the moment. But I don't think... No. I think at this point it's mathematically over. I don't think Canadians, they have 1 stone left. I don't think they can find a way to get that yellow one behind the red one at the hog line all the way into the house as well as their shooter. And that would just be for the draw, so I think Stefan is just going to play his stone here. Either he doesn't mind if it's in front of that red or that yellow or behind it. He just wants to get it somewhere in there. That's just going to curl in, sit on top of the yellow one, which just fine for them. John looking at different options there. They could potentially get around behind that, around that guard, still keep it in the 4 foot, and maybe, you know, score 2. Try to finish on a strong note. All right, I think John just said was one of the options they had as well, leaving a guard. Just trying to prevent N19 from being able to come in and score. I don't think there's a whole lot that can be done at this point. It's last stone. I think at this point they would just be trying something for the sake of trying, because yeah, the match is over mathematically. But it's always nice when you have these free opportunities to try shots you wouldn't normally take. I think that that's always fun to do, because it's on game ice. Because when we train, the ice isn't always prepped, so sometimes if you come in a later session and train, the ice isn't great, or it's been used, and so you don't have this now. This is the last stone of the match. We're coming up on the 3-hour mark, the last stone of the last end. So why not give it a crack? See if you can't get in there. Maybe take a late shot of the match consideration. Gotta get on the outside of the nose. Runs back. Oh, he gets it on the red, just not quite enough. Canadians hold on for 1, and it's handshakes all around. Oops, sorry, I put that on the wrong one there. There we go. So, final score: N19 7, Canadians 4. It was a pretty close match, back and forth. I think we saw some good shots, we saw some bad shots. That so bad it was good shot in the third from N19 to steal the end. Certainly seemed to have an effect on the flow of the final flow of the game. The last few ends, how they went. Yeah, really good match. It's going to put N19 up on the standings a little bit more. I don't have the live standings with me, so. But that was match 2 of 3 today. We are, hey, we've got the fans in here saying hi. Appreciate everybody who watched. You know, glad you guys tuned in. We've got one more match tonight. It's going to start in about an hour. It's going to be the Clash of Zemst between Daddy's Cool and Wipe My Ass. So that's going to be a good one. Wipe My Ass has been training for it. They've been training specifically for this match. We're going to have loads of people in here watching the competition. So we hope you join us back here on YouTube. I am going to take another break to rest my throat, maybe get a little dinner, gonna go get some frites, and I will see you all back in an hour. So thank you all for watching very much, and we will see you in an hour.